Hello everyone and welcome back to another screencast. This one's on quadratic graphs. This is absolute fantastic. I love this screencast and it's because of the beauty of a quadratic graph. So first of all, what is a quadratic graph? Here they are on the right. So we can see this lovely what we call a parabola. We get that because it's a quadratic graph, and what that means is we've got this to the power of 2. We'll always see like x to the power of 2 or a letter to the power of 2. And that's what makes it beautiful. There's a couple of things we're going to learn as we go along that you're going to make this really, really easy for you. But the first thing we've got to understand is that we're going to use some skills that we've done before. We're going to use substitution. So we're going to take away letters and put in numbers to find out other information. We're going to fill in a table and we're going to plot points on a graph. It really is as simple as that. And I've got a really, really, really tough question for you that's really going to stretch us, but don't worry, the quiz question's that little bit easier, so I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. But first up, let's just go through the basics. All we're saying here is that we're going to draw a graph on here. It's going to be a parabola, which we've spoken about before. And all we're going to do to find the information out is we're saying that these are the x values. What are the y values? So when x is 0, what's y? Okay, that's very simple. So let's just start with that. So we're going to have y equals, rather than x, we're going to say 0, 0 squared. Well, 0 squared is the same as y equals 0 times 0. So what's 0 times 0? Hopefully we know it's 0. And then very simply, all we're going to do is we're going to go in the positives for a start. Now, I could have started on any of these numbers. I started on 0 because it's nice and easy, isn't it? Let's go with 1 though, because that's probably nice and easy as well. So that's just saying, what's 1 squared? What's 1 times 1? Hopefully we know that's 1. And then we're going to move up in the positives again because they're nice and easy. Okay, and we're going to go with 2. So what's 2 times 2? 2 squared is 2 times 2. So what's 2 times 2? Well, that's 4. I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to go through them really quickly. What's 3 times 3? That's 9. Now, this is the bit that may throw some people, but trust me on this. What's minus 1? And I'll write this down. Y equals, let's not be lazy. Let's not be lazy. What's minus 1 squared? That's minus 1 times minus 1. What's minus 1 times minus 1? It's 1. Okay, so we've got 1 there. What's minus 2 times minus 2? That's 4. What's minus 3 times minus 3? That's 9, okay? Now look what this creates. We've got minus 3, 9. We're going to plot that on the graph there. Can you see that? Minus 3, 9. The next one is minus 2, 4. Minus 2, 4. So we're going to plot that there. Then we've got minus 1, 1. We'll plot that there. Then we've got 0, 0, the origin we call that. And that is there. 1 and 1. Here we go, and you can see that we're now going up in this beautiful parabola. The same way it came down is the same way it goes up. Look at that. Now, the other key thing to know about these graphs is that we do not want straight lines. We want to have this lovely curve graph. So don't use a ruler. Use a nice smooth hand to link up all your points, just like you'll see here. Okay, we can see there that they're not straight lines. They are nice curved lines running through all of the points. Doesn't need to be perfect as long as it's nice and neat and tidy. Okay, let's do the next question. I'll do the first couple for you and then it's up to you. So let's take away the x and put in the x value. So on this one we're looking for 0. We're going to put that in. We're going to say that y equals 0 squared, or 0 times 0 minus 2. So what's 0 times 0? Well, that's 0 take away 2 and that equals minus 2. So we put that in there. The next one will be, what's 1 squared? What's 1 squared? 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 take away 2, well that gives me minus 1. The next one and the last one that I'm going to do before I hand over to you, because you guys are absolutely amazing, it's going to be 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 take away 2 is 2. So we put that in. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do the rest, remembering what we spoke about last one. Do all of them and then plot all your points, come back and see if you've got it right. So fill in the table and plot the points on the graph. And remember to link up those points with a nice curved line. Come back and see if you've got it correct. Okay, here we go. So we've got 3 times 3 is 9. 9 take away 2 equals 7. Yeah? What's minus 1 times minus 1? That equals 1. 1 take away 2 gives us minus 1. What's minus 2 times minus 2? Well, that's 4. 4 take away 2 gives us 2. And minus 3 times minus 3 equals 9. 9 take away 2 is 7. And let's plot those points now. So we've got minus 3 and 7. Plot a point. Minus 2 and 2. Plot the point. I'm going to say plot the point a lot. Minus 1 and minus 1. 0 and 2. Sorry, 0 and minus 2. 1 and minus 1. 2 and 2, and 3 and 7. And we can see that lovely parabola again. And we're going to link these points up with a beautiful curved line. There we go. Now, this is the same as the last one. Obviously, the numbers have slightly changed, so definitely pause the video now, especially if you got that last one correct. Okay, if you didn't get the last one correct, then you need to go back and watch again. But if you got the last one correct, knock your socks off. Give it a real good go. Come back and see if you've got it correct. Okay, so we're starting with 0. So 0 times 0 is 0. 0 take away 4. We should end up with minus 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 take away 4 gives me minus 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 take away 4 is 0. And 3 times 3 is 9. Take away 4, and we should end up with 5. And we're going to find the same thing on the other side of the 0 as well. And this is, just be wary on the next one that doesn't quite happen, and I'll explain why in a second. Plot your points on your graph. And you can see there that we've got all our values, and we've got that lovely parabola again. And if you don't have that parabola, then you know you've done something wrong as well. If one of those points is out, or a couple of those points are out, or it doesn't go up in the same way that on that one side it does on the other, then definitely remember that you obviously have done something wrong. Now this is our Everest. So please just bear in mind, this is the Everest. This is really, really tough for us. I will do the first 2 for you, and then it's up to you to do the rest. So let's go through. We're going to start with 0 again. So y equals 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 5. Let's do this a stage at a time. So we've got y equals, what's 0 times 0? 0 times 0 is 0. What's 2 times 0? That's 0. Take away 5. So 0 plus 0 is 0. Take away 5. We should end up with minus 5. Now, just show you how this changes a little bit, and it just does change a little bit, doesn't it? Okay. We've got the, what's 1 times 1? Yeah, 1 squared plus 2 times 1. So what's 1 times 1 is 1. What's 2 times 1? That's 2. So we add them together, we've got 3, take away 5, and we should end up with minus 2. Now, I'd like you to work out 2 and 3, but then pause then, as in work it out, but do not then go and do minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. I'm going to show you how this changes a little bit, okay? But you can work out the value of y when x is 2, the value of y when x is 3, and then just come back to the video and then we'll go through the others, okay? Pause the video now, do those 2, and then come back. Okay, so here we go. Are we ready? So we had the next value should have been 3 because we had 2 times 2, which gave us 4. 2 times 2 again, which gave us 4, so that's 8. Take away 5, and we end up with 3. But then we've got 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2 times 3, which is 6. So add them together, we've got 15. 15 take away 5 gives us the 10. Okay, so hopefully you got those 2 right. Now the next one is, this is where it's really important, because on all the other ones, we've had the values going very similar on the other side of 0. But let's look how this is slightly different now. So we've got what's minus 1 times minus 1. Well, that equals 1, doesn't it? But look here, this 2 times minus 1, that doesn't give us 2. It gives us minus 2. So if we've got 1 plus minus 2, then that should be 1 minus 2, and that would give us minus 1, minus another 5, and that will give us minus 6. And we can see how that's slightly different to what we've been doing. So we need to now, rather than just jump and do it on the same way as we've done before, we need to input the numbers in slowly and surely to make sure we get this out. So let's do the next one. We've got minus 2 squared, 2 times minus 2. So let's do this one nice and slowly, and then I'll let you do the last one on your own. Minus 2 squared, minus 2 times minus 2, that does give us 4. But then we've got this 2 times minus 2. Well, that gives us minus 4. So now we're at 4 plus minus 4. That's 0. Take away 5, and we get that negative 5. So I'd like you to give the last one a go on your own. Okay, I'm getting rid of all of this stuff. You give it a go, and then we'll plot the points. Well, you'll plot the points, and we'll see if you've got it right. So the last one here, pause now, do minus 3, come back and see if you've got it right. Okay, so first up, we've got minus 3 times minus 3. That does give us 9. And then we've got 2 times minus 3. That gives me minus 6. Minus another 5. And if we do all of that together, then we've got our minus 2. Now we're going to plot the points. So we've got minus 3, minus 2, which is down here. Plot that point. We've got minus 2 and minus 5, which is here, and plot that point. Next one, and we can see that how this is slightly different to the ones we've done before, and you can see why it's slightly different. And if we curve those up, that's what it looks like. And that's different than what we've done before, isn't it? Now, if we continued our values across this way, so minus 4, then we'd see that this point would drop up here and drop up here, and it would be that lovely equal parabola on both sides. But we don't have those values, and that's really important. Now, if that has fried your brain, never fear, because the quiz question is here, and the quiz question is a nice, simple one. So, pause the video now, give it a go, come back and see if you've got it right. I'm sure you will. If you've got it right, absolutely fantastic. If you've got it wrong, do not worry. Watch the first few questions again, then give it a go. But anyway, pause the video, give it a go, see if you've got it right. Okay, so here we go. Here goes our answers. Hopefully your values are the same there. Hopefully your graph looks just like mine, a lovely parabola there. I'm sure it does. But let's go through the first few. We've got 0 times 0, which gives us 0, plus 1, and that's why we get 1. We've got 1 times 1, that gives us 1, plus 1, that gives us 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1, that gives us 5. And 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1, it gives us 10. And we can see it's the same on the downside on this occasion. Okay, hopefully you've gotten that right. Make sure you write a revision card on this, or at least some really awesome notes. And as always, it's been a real pleasure helping you with your maths today. Good luck in everything you do. Remember, every day is a good day if we think positively, and you always will get better at maths. Maths, the more you try. Well done.